So how is it like being a member for the past 1 week, 2 weeks?
Nothing much has changed though. Yeah, but I think the involvement is in Sunday school. It'll be more because we are now. I think similar also. We are being assigned like a intensive program.
Program.
Yeah, for Sunday school. So you'll be assigned to be more frequently lah.
Yeah.
We can finally stand at the wedding.
For
being a member, you can like stand
that's
there.
why I told.
That's what she told me. She's looking forward to that. I
For tomorrow, is
witnessed.
it?
Because we were thinking like when we have to go back to Johor, then it's like, we are going to miss the first wedding that we can stand as a member to witness the wedding. I was thinking about that.
Right. Okay. So have you always been interested in Sunday school ministry, kids ministry?
Yes, I've always been interested because my mom was a midwife, so she took care of all my cousins, and I've been assisting her with that. So I am familiar with baby lah. Not to say I'm an expert, but then in my previous church also, I'm frequently involved in Sunday school ministries.
Okay. So you grew up as a Christian, is it, or?
Yeah, I grew up as a Christian, and I grew up in Sunday school as well.
Can you tell us a bit more about that? Like how did that happen?
I grew up as a Christian.
Yeah.
Like how?
What's your Christian background?
Oh, okay. So in Christian family, we go to Sunday school weekly. It's a must. Ministry also is a must. So my mom would encourage me like you cannot like during uni time, because I was in seminary. Then during that period we will not attach or attend a church regularly during that time. So after that, close to graduation time, then my mom tell me that you need to serve. Yeah, so you have to do something at church because this is the church that we are attending regularly. So that time went to Sunday school, and then I've been to a few churches. We wanted to become regular at the churches, so we left for different reasons political or some wrong teachings, very obvious kind of wrong teachings, or some people issue, might be, I'm not too sure also because I was quite young. And then mainly I think mostly is about what we want or what we need. We are trying to look for something that are suitable for us. So I'm not too sure about all the rest of the Christians in Klang Valley, but I think from what I understand from my friends, this is a norm So if you think that there's something that happened that doesn't suit your taste, or you feel like I don't feel good there, I don't want to go there anymore, then you just leave and you try to go for church hunting. So that's my background.
How many churches have you kind of been to?
I think CRC is my 4th or 5th church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But previously, it wasn't like a total different church. The church I think got separated in two, and then it was too far away, something like that. Then we tried to find a local, more nearer to the place that where we were staying, something like that So it's because of circumstantial as well.
Okay.
And most of the teachings were charismatic. And growing up, of course, Bible, we do recognize that the importance of Bible, but having the kind of theology, some of the Christians even despise when you say you want to learn more about Bible. They say like, why are you so knowledge based? This will make you become a Pharisee, things like that. So it's not the equipping on the word part is not being emphasized that, but we do say that we acknowledge the importance of the Bible. More like you become a Christian when you think like you need something from God, or you want something from God. So this God is able to help you with certain stuff. Yeah, that's how we normally preach the gospel as well, I think. If you think that there's this God in your life that you want to solve, then this God will be able to help you. I'm not saying that God is not able to do that, but it shouldn't be the reason of why people is coming into Christianity. Yeah.
So was there like a period of time where like you kind of were challenged about it, or like you're considering whether that's the right kind of Christianity?
It was when Bowen got revealed about the Calvinism thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because
after you guys got married, right?
Sorry?
Or is it before you guys got married?
After.
After.
the retrench. It
Oh,
was
okay.
after happens after we got married. I was very worried, but he's very chillax during that time. So yeah.
God's sovereign plan, right?
What was the question again? Sorry.
Oh, I mean, was that like a turning point? Then you were talking about the Calvinism.
Oh yeah. So that was the turning point lah, because I don't think any one of us would care much about doing this kind of research, and we are not aware of the history, right? So I think you asked him about the membership. For membership, the most impactful thing for me is the history. The Bible that is being put in our hands has been, people have sacrificed for it. There's blood being shed for it, and now yet we are taking it for granted. We say we read. We read it our own. We don't discuss. We don't talk about it. We don't know whether we understand correctly or not. So it's actually undermining God's word lah. In other words, you just read it for your own understanding, or how you read it as how you understand it, but you are not reading on how God wants to reveal Himself through the word. So the revelation come after Bowen got the knowledge about Calvinism and Reformation, this kind of thing.
So the story of it was Bowen started researching a lot about Calvinism, started talking to people about it as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's something wrong with Bowen that you needed to fix or anything like that? Like, what do you think about Calvinism? Because it definitely shook Bowen's world, right?
Yeah.
So how did you kind of react to it?
He showed me the text,
Yeah.
which is very clear, and I don't want to argue with the text. So I'm not in I'm not in a different view as he was lah, or as he is now.
I think she was angry at the time. She was like, I've been lied to.
Yeah. So how come I don't know this kind of thing one? And the text is so simply being put there. Like, for example, you are saved for what? Salvation is for what? Saved to serve. And the three words is actually in Exodus, like you're saved to serve. Something like that. So it's very plainly, very clearly, and if you do read it not in your own terms, when you let the word do its own work, you will be able to have that kind of understanding. Yeah. I was quite disappointed lah, because it was like 20 over years in church and I don't know this kind of basic thing.
Right, okay. So, I would assume you guys came to CRC at the same time because of the same reason also, right? Which is that Bowen was recommended to come and try to visit and kind of experience CRC himself. So, how was your CRC experience?
The impression that I had is also the Wait What series, the Don't Be a Baby.
Yeah.
For him, it's more like what you were sharing just now.
You ought to be teachers by
You
now.
ought to be teachers by now. For me, it's like you don't even understand the elementary doctrine, because I was a Sunday school teacher. Okay, and what is elementary doctrine? I don't know about that at all. And I'm starting to thinking. I started to think like, am I teaching the wrong thing to the kids? Like, what am I teaching? I like, to be honest, I don't really spend too much time reading the text, going through it, do research on it. No lah. So it hit me quite a bit, that sermon, and yeah, need to be. Then from that onwards, I'm like, oh, we are really bad in this. We are not equipped, and we don't want to learn. That's our nature. We don't feel like we want to learn, so we reject the word, and from there onwards, we kept the yearning for the word lah, realizing that we are really this poor in knowing God.
Right. So that was 2018, right? I think it was during the Hebrews series.
Yes, during the Hebrews series.
So it's been like 4 years already. What do you, I guess, value a lot from CLC?
Sorry?
What do you value a lot from CLC in terms of teaching or the culture or anything like that?
You see, like when we are said that we are saved to serve, right? Doesn't mean that our work actually earns our salvation. But what CRC is having, or the ministries that's doing, from the Bible study and growth group to a duty roster for cleaning, and how we manage the finances in the church. So everything is surrounding how we make decisions, including how we make decisions in our lives. How this all can come together to glorify God at most. This is the thing that impact me the most. And it's not just like reading and just head knowledge, right, is also doing as well. So I can see like how the leaders are actually putting real effort, the implication on how it's being lived out in their lives. So that's also what is showing me on how God's people are supposed to be. It's not just only words being lived out in real life. You can see like, wow, okay, this is how we are supposed to manage the finances. Like CMAs, how they arrange their daily lives, how we manage the finances. They stay together near the church for the ministry to keep things going on. So I like initially when I knew about these things, like, wow, yeah, the church, I mean, these are already written on the books, right? How the early churches, they have how they practice things, and how that should be translated in this generation, this time. It's not just a theory. It's actually very practical, and CRC is actually doing that. That's what's impacting me the most. Yeah.
Would you say that's the reason why you decided to commit to CRC as well?
Also yes, and also for the cause that the church is, the vision that the church is having, the cause that we are actually doing because I'm now in Sunday school ministry, and I want to also hopefully I can be part of this huge vision and mission that we are doing, to have the gospel being preached to the kids before like the time of myself. I only realized this when I was 20 over. Hopefully when kids can get this kind of knowledge when they were young, and hopefully they can do better and serve God better when they're younger.
Okay. So I mean, you recently became a member. I think you completed your membership relatively fast as well. Was it a lot of struggle? Or, I mean, unless you don't think it's that fast.
I think it's it really depends on you how you want to pace yourself on this. For us, it's our job nature. I mean, for me lah, it's a milestone that we see the target, we just want to achieve. By this day, today, I want to submit this session 1, I'll just do it. Die also, I'll do it. Tomorrow, I need the tutor to mark on this day, I'll pace myself and then I'll do it. Yeah, so maybe some tips for the current candidates. You don't try to lump it 1 to 10 like that. Don't, never mind one. Okay, don't do like that. Okay, each session has its own value and the understanding that you need to do. Pace yourself. Do it session by session. Give yourself a pat on the back when after you finish one session. Good job. Move to the next one. Yeah. Don't make it like after everything, then only you start session number 1 to 10, then you want to crumple everything together. It will be very stressful if we do that.
Okay. Do you find it like challenging to not just like kind of follow a deadline or anything like that, but also understanding the content and kind of?
It is because my thinking in terms of biblical text is in Mandarin, so I'm used to those Mandarin jargons. So for English, like there are a lot of words that I'm not familiar with, like the Reformation, those. The reformers, the names Zwingli, John, Martin Luther, all those, I have no idea at all. It's starting from scratch. What is parachurches? What is church? Like even like ecclesiology. These kind of big words. It's very big. It's still very big for me, and sometimes I do get confused. Don't laugh, okay? Yeah, sometimes he will correct me. Like, this word is actually not this and this. And also the tutor rightfully like this. Do you mean this? Maybe she can understand my Chinese mind. I'm just using the wrong word. Yeah, but I think as we go along, you try to summarize something which has a big meaning in one word. It just goes easier when we say things, right? Like acronym. And if it's hard, then try to use it in conversation so that you get used to it. It's challenging. I would say that it's challenging. Yeah, but it's still manageable lah. But I think the most important thing is you want to know, you want to learn. Then it will be done. It will be completed.
Okay. So I mean, I would think that will also mean that a lot of maybe the sermon series and even growth groups will be a bit challenging for you also, considering you're more well versed with Chinese, like understanding things in Chinese. So how do you hope to keep growing in CRC through the sermons and growth groups?
Initially, when I joined growth groups, I'll have my Chinese Bible like side by side.
Mm.
So for now I don't use Chinese Bible anymore. Try to think in English. So I think that's also very helpful that GG. Sometimes if I really cannot say the word in English, then I'll just say in Mandarin lah. So there are a lot of members or how to say, participants in the GG which are well versed in Mandarin, then they can actually translate it in English, no problem. And I think most of us still can converse in Mandarin lah. Yeah, in GG. So it's actually not like super challenging, but in terms of some of the words it is lah. So I'll keep my Bible Chinese open and then Google also. When I hear some word that I don't understand, just quickly Google.
Okay.
It's still manageable.
Right. So I remember in your when you saw it in that time, you mentioned that you might be thinking about Chinese ministry, is it? Right?
Yeah. I was being assigned for a long-term experiment for Chinese ministry.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Like, what's your vision for that? Are you excited for it? Yeah. What do you hope from that?
So I've already told Sunday school, like discussed with the leaders. So I am now being assigned in English Sunday school. So hopefully, at one time I'm matured enough so that I can just use that kind of knowledge, translate it into Mandarin to take care of the Mandarin Sunday school. So that's something that I would like to explore for in the future.
Okay. How would you, maybe as like kind of like a last question, how would you hope to continue serving in CRC despite perhaps some of the challenges that you might face or challenges that CRC might face? Like, what do you hope for CRC in the future?
I hope that I think struggles and challenges everyone will face. I hope that everyone would be how to say, we can endure together as a church lah. See, that's why God chosen a group of people of His own, right? You're not alone. So if there's anything, there's GG to support you. There are leaders that is keen to help you out if you have any issues or anything. So I hope that CRC would achieve its mission to become like a main Reformation focal point in Klang Valley. Because like initially we were looking for churches like you mentioned. There are really like I don't know, like
there
less
are.
than there are. But
There are a few, right?
But it's really few lah. So hopefully when CRC is working this from the bottom up, everyone working together, then we can have more people who is being exposed to this knowledge of God and get reformed.